And we're back with Cyrus Webb Presents, and Romy Teperson is our guest for this segment. I actually met Romy because of the film that she's in called Devil's Cove. We'll talk to her about that, but also about the journey for her as an actress. Romy, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. No, thanks for having me.
Well, so this is exciting. So I know you because of Devil's Cove. A lot of people are finding out about this film. We're going to let our viewers know, of course, how they can be able to watch it. But what has this example in this journey been like for you, Romy? To do what you love as an actress and to see the work that's come from it?
Look, every day I'm grateful I get to do what I do. I mean, it's tough, obviously, but especially coming from a different country and trying to make it in a whole new market, a whole new world. I'm from Australia. So, I mean, that's a journey in itself, just the whole logistical side of it. And then just diving in, my main focus is comedy, television, film. Just being able to live in that world every day, it's just so fun, and I love it, and I hope the work shows that I love it, and yeah, I mean, I'm having a blast.
Yeah. And I think that the other thing, Romy, that I thought about with your segment is that this film is intense. Which we're going to get into Devil's Cove. Well, what I think is so interesting is that it says a lot about life, right? I mean, life is not pretty. So I want to talk to you about the why, because we haven't had you on a radio show yet, and we're going to have to make that happen. But what was it about acting that spoke to you?
It's just something that I had since I was a kid. I mean, I was one of those kids that I knew what I wanted to do from the age of like 5. And I was in my head and nothing was going to sway me. So I got into acting early. And then I think it was more in like my teenage years where I really started to hone in. Friends was one of the biggest influences for me. So as soon as that show came into the world, I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. I found like my comedy voice in that. I just saw so many things where I was like, I know I can do that. That's innately what I like. It brings out the passion in me. And from then on, I dived into comedy, and I do improv, I do comedic acting, I've done sitcoms, I've done just the whole, I just love it.
Yeah. So, Devil's Cove, how did you find out about the film?
So I worked with Chloe a couple times. I met her back in Australia, and we've done about 2 or 3 features now together. Okay. We're about to do another one after this. So we've like developed a long line of films and a good work rapport and a good work relationship. Sure. Both in the acting, and I also flip it and do the other side as well, so producing. So I've also served as producer in a couple of our films too.
So what has that experience been like for you? Because what I love about what you just shared here, Romy, is that it really shows that, I mean, you don't have to just do one thing. You can be, is that what keeps acting fun for you, that you can slip into different genres and to be able to bring yourself to those? Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Devil's Cove, it's such it's like a modern day film in the way, so there's a lot of action, there's a lot of, it was fun. It wasn't just straight up drama, straight up comedy. I kind of feel like it covered a lot of things. So it's fun to use elements of different bits and pieces and kind of combine it all into this one world. Yeah. We're going to talk about, of course, the response to Devil's Cove. Before we get into that, I want to ask you about synergy, because what I loved about Chloe and I met last year when we were taping Cyrus Webb Presents then here, and what I love about the fact that she talked about the people she was able to work with. What is it like for you to work with people that are just as passionate as you when it comes to storytelling? I mean, it just makes it so much easier and so much more of an enjoyable experience. I think when you're working with people that passionate and people that are wanting to create and wanting to put out good work, it just makes you better. You know, like they're setting the bar, and then you're meeting the bar, and you're trying to top it each day. And I think that's why we had such a great working relationship, and we've continued to make film after film, is that we see that in each other, and it's created some cool projects, which we're proud of. For sure. For those who are just tuning in, you're watching Cyrus Webb Presents. Excited to welcome Romy Teperson to our program today. We're talking to Romy not only about her journey as an actress, but also what it's been like for her to do what she loves and to see the response. So let's talk about the response to Devil's Cove. I mean, you know, I'm one of those people who I always think about the layers of projects, and as you said, there are a lot of different layers to this project. What has it been like for you to hear from people who've seen it? It's been great. The response has been great. I know it's on Amazon now, so the platform's a lot bigger. Right.
all been positive. It's all been the press that's out there, the publicity around it has been great. It's great to get that feedback and, again, have that response to something that you're so proud to have worked on and been a part of.
Sure. And I think, being a part of Amazon is one thing, but also I want to talk about freedom. Then we let our audience know how to stay connected with you,
Sure.
Romy, because I love the world that we're living in now, right? Where there are less gatekeepers, where you can do what you want and not have to worry so much about waiting for permission. How has it served you well in being able to have the opportunity to create what you want to create?
I mean, that's how I love to work. My whole thing is coming from an improv background and a comedy background. I love to work organically. I love when things are just you don't have a lot to start with. You go in and you just create, and you have the freedom to do that. And there's no there's no watchman hanging over you going, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's so, as an artist, it's so freeing, and I love working from this organic place.
Yeah. So you mentioned, of course, there are other projects that you're working on. What's coming up that our audience should be looking to look out for?
Sure. So I have just done an episode of Busy Phillips' show, Busy Tonight. I did a little comedy segment on that. And then Chloe and I have another film coming out, which I'm acting in and serving as producer on, which we can't talk about too much yet, but it's coming up. Okay. It's coming up.
Well, I think that's a great segue then, Romy. So how can our audience stay connected with you then?
Sure, you can catch me on Facebook or on Instagram. Instagram is at Romy Tepe, and Facebook, Romy Teperson.
All right. So make sure you guys are following her. We'll make sure to link it for those who are watching us online through YouTube as well. Romy, thank you so much for this.
You,
really appreciate it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to this segment of Cyrus Webb Presents.